The cafe was quiet that afternoon, sunlight spilling over the tables, when a tiny voice broke the hum of chatter. "Mister, can you fix my toy? It was our last gift from Dad." No one paid much attention at first, but the words clung to the millionaire sitting by the window, stirring something he hadn't felt in years. He looked down and saw a little girl holding a broken, worn-out toy, her eyes wide with hope and a quiet sadness that made the world feel heavier than it should for someone so small. He had come to the cafe to escape his busy life, away from boardrooms, deals, and endless decisions. Yet here, in a moment so simple and unexpected, his life began to shift. The toy was more than plastic, and Girsit was a memory, a connection to a father lost too soon, and a story waiting to unfold. As he picked up the tiny figure, unsure how to even start, he realized this encounter would lead him down a path he never imagined. How could a chance meeting with a little girl in a cafe change everything for a millionaire? And what secrets might her small, trembling hands hold that could touch his life forever? The millionaire, whose life was usually measured in profits and schedules, felt an unfamiliar tug in his chest as he examined the toy. It was a little robot, chipped and faded, its tiny arms stuck in awkward positions. The girl watched him closely, her fingers nervously twisting the edges of her dress. Her name was Lily, and though she had the innocence of a child, there was a quiet determination in her eyes that made him pause. He asked gently, "What happened to it?" She swallowed hard and whispered, "It fell when we moved. Dad said it was special. He said it would always watch over me." Her words lingered, heavy with unspoken grief. The millionaire's mind raced not with investments or business plans, but with a memory of his own lost childhood, and a life that felt emptier than it should. The cafe around them faded into background noise as he studied the toy. There was something about it that seemed almost unusual, as if it held more than sentimental value. A small, almost imperceptible mechanism caught his eye. But before he could figure it out, Lily's gaze shifted, her expression tightening. She seemed worried, almost afraid. He realized that this little toy and this little girl might be the beginning of a story, far bigger than he could have imagined. He turned the toy over in his hands, noticing intricate details he hadn't expected: a tiny, almost hidden compartment, and a delicate mechanism that seemed too advanced for a simple children's robot. His curiosity was piqued, but the question in his mind was bigger than just a toy. Why had this little object, seemingly ordinary, carried so much meaning for Lily? Lily fidgeted on the chair, glancing nervously toward the cafe door, as if expecting someone to arrive any moment. "Dad, he always said it had a secret," she whispered, her voice trembling. The words made him pause. Secrets weren't something he was used to confronting in his life of predictable routines. He had faced boardroom betrayals and corporate conspiracies, but this, the raw vulnerability of a child clinging to the memory of her father, was something entirely different. Meanwhile, the millionaire's assistant had been trying to reach him, sending urgent messages he ignored. The world outside this small cafe had demands, deadlines, and expectations, but here, everything felt suspended. Subplots of grief, memory, and lost family intersected in this tiny moment. He wondered about Lily's home life, her mother, and the father she spoke of. What had happened, and why had the toy become so important? Every angle seemed to deepen the mystery. Was it just a toy, or something more? And why did a simple gesture of kindness risk pulling him into a world he hadn't planned on entering? The tension built with every second, leaving him caught between curiosity, compassion, and the fear of uncovering something he might not be ready for. He gently tried to pry open the tiny compartment in the robot, but it wouldn't budge. Each movement seemed to echo in the quiet cafe, and Lily's eyes widened with a mixture of hope and fear. "Be careful," she whispered, clutching the edge of the table as if holding on would somehow protect her father's memory. Outside, the late afternoon sunlight was fading, casting long shadows across the cafe. The millionaire could feel the weight of the moment pressing down on him. It wasn't just about fixing a broken toy anymore, it was about uncovering a secret that might change both of their lives. He realized that this little robot, fragile and worn, held something that someone had gone to great lengths to hide. But who, and why? Suddenly, the door opened, and a gust of wind brought in the distant sound of footsteps. Lily stiffened, glancing toward the entrance, and he followed her gaze. A figure lingered outside, watching the cafe intently, as if waiting for the right moment to step in. Panic flickered across Lily's face. The millionaire's mind raced. What if this stranger had something to do with the toy, or with the father she had lost? Every instinct told him to protect her, yet the mystery pulled him forward. In that moment, the air seemed charged with anticipation, and the fragile calm of the afternoon felt ready to shatter. The secret of the toy, the shadowy figure outside, and the little girl's desperate hope converged, leaving them all on the edge of something they couldn't yet see. Before he could react to the figure at the door, Lily's grip on the toy tightened, and she whispered something that froze him in place. He said, "It's not just a toy. It's a key." The words hit harder than he expected. A key. His mind raced, thinking of all the possibilities. Hidden compartments, coded messages, secrets her father had left behind. This was no ordinary keepsake. The millionaire realized that whatever was inside the little robot could unlock something far bigger, something someone clearly didn't want discovered. The figure outside moved closer, slipping into the shadows near the cafe window. His heart pounded as he sensed the danger creeping in. Someone was watching them, and maybe following them. He glanced at Lily, whose eyes were wide but determined. There was courage in her, yet beneath it was a fear that only a child with a heavy loss could carry. He tried one more time to open the robot, and this time, a hidden latch clicked. The compartment sprang open, revealing a tiny, folded note and a miniature device. Just as he reached for it, the stranger at the door stepped inside, eyes locked on them. The air thickened with tension, and the millionaire knew in that instant that this was no longer just about fixing a toy. It was a race against time, a puzzle entwined with danger, secrets, and the haunting memory of a father's final gift. The stranger froze mid-step when the millionaire slowly unfolded the tiny note from the robot. Written in a careful, familiar hand were coordinates and a message. *, only trust the one who fixes what's broken with care. Realization hit him. This was more than a toy. It was a guide, a final message from Lily's father, designed to lead someone worthy to a truth he had hidden for years. Lily's eyes widened as the millionaire held up the miniature device, a tiny mechanical key that fit perfectly into the lockbox at the bottom of the robot. With trembling hands, he activated it, and a small compartment slid open, revealing a flash drive and a handwritten journal. The flash drive contained plans, secrets, and a recorded message from Lily's father, explaining a long-forgotten inheritance and a family mystery that had been kept from her. The stranger stepped closer, but Lily's sudden courage startled him. "This belongs to me," she said firmly, standing tall beside the millionaire. The man hesitated, realizing the girl was protected not just by bloodline but by someone who would not back down. As they left the cafe, the millionaire glanced at Lily, thinking the danger had passed. But just as they stepped into the sunlight, the flash drive beeped unexpectedly, revealing a hidden file with a single line. They're not the only ones watching. His heart skipped a beat. The adventure and the danger was far from over. The millionaire held the flash drive carefully as Lily clutched the journal, her fingers tracing her father's handwriting. Outside the cafe, the city carried on in its usual rush, but for them, the world had shifted. Secrets had been revealed, grief had been acknowledged, and a father's love had left a lasting legacy. Lily smiled for the first time in weeks, her small face lighting up with relief and wonder. The millionaire realized that in helping a little girl with a broken toy, he had discovered something far more meaningful than money or success. He had found connection, purpose, and a reminder that even the smallest gestures, listening, caring, taking time could change a life. The mystery of the toy had unlocked not just hidden secrets, but also the bond between them, bridging worlds of wealth, loss, and hope. Though the warning on the flash drive hinted at dangers still unseen, Lily now had her father's guidance, and he had someone to protect and guide. Together, they stepped forward, aware of challenges ahead, but strengthened by trust and courage. As they walked away from the cafe, the sunlight caught the edges of the little robot, now whole again, a symbol that even broken things, and broken lives, could be restored with patience, care, and love. The story ended, but the promise of new beginnings lingered.